Hey everybody, welcome. It's Timmy here with Couture. And who's ready for some fun flamingos tonight? I am totally ready. As you know, probably if you've been watching me before, I just got back from vacation about a week ago now. Can't believe it's already been a week. And loved hanging out in Florida. It totally reminds me always of those lovely pink flamingos. So when I got home, I couldn't wait to dig out this new design and share it with you. So if you're just coming on in, be sure to say hello and feel free to take a minute to subscribe, like my page, and that way you'll get notified when I go live again. And I'd really love it if you would be willing to share this video, tag maybe someone you know that you think might enjoy, or just go ahead and share this out generally. I would love that. That helps me get the word out a little bit about these awesome products that we're going to be using tonight, and hopefully it helps folks get some ideas about how they can create their own beautiful DIY home decor. So that's what I am all about. That's what Couture is all about, is helping you by providing you with some great, easy to use products to really make some gorgeous items like the one that we're going to make tonight. So I'm just going to go ahead and move this off of the page so you can see everything that we're going to be doing here in a minute. I will also just, oh, I got to change that. Give me 1 second. I'm going to see if I can do that while I'm, let's see, can I edit that? Maybe I can. And what I want to do is have that show, I don't know, it's supposed to be there, but it's not, so I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out my little crazy camera situation. You know, I'm always working on that craziness. All right, excellent. I am going to change our view here a little so you can see the project that we're working on. I want to make sure you can see everything. So I'm going to put myself over there in the corner. Baby in the corner, I know. And move it over so you can see exactly what we're going to be working on tonight. Now notice I've got my group down there at the bottom of the page, and that group I wanted to tell you about because it is my brand new community of folks who really are just loving creating beautiful spaces. So I am all about just sharing beauty and joy that we get from creating things that are beautiful, and that community is just filled with great ideas, some giveaways, and also just lots of sharing of ideas. So if you're looking to be inspired and you want to be able to kind of join in with some other folks who like also to be creative, then that's the place to go. So feel free to go ahead and pop over to that group, Style Innovators, and I'd be happy to add you. It's hopefully a fun one, and you'll be able to see lots of different project ideas that we're working on. Now, as I said, today we're working on this cute little flamingo transfer. Now, looking at it, you're probably going, I don't get it. Well, I'm going to show you how easy it is to put this together. If this is the first time watching, let me just tell you a little bit about, I'm going to get rid of that on the bottom here too so it's not in our way. Oh, I guess maybe it won't go away. Interesting. These crazy contraptions here. So if this is the first time watching me, let me tell you a little bit about some of the products that we're going to be using tonight. The first thing that I want to talk to you about is our silk screen transfer designs. These designs are fabulous. There are so many different design options to choose from. The hardest decision that you'll have to make is which design you're going to use. But there's so many good ones. They're really fun to kind of look through and decide which one is going to kind of make you happy that day. Today the flamingos are totally making me happy. Now, I also want to tell you that June is a very special month here on Couture because it's actually the last month of us making our spring-summer transfers available in our catalog, which means at the end of this month, a whole bunch of transfers, designs are going to be retiring. So if you see something you like on my site, I would totally encourage you to go see if you can find that on my website before they go away, because they are going to be disappearing. Come July 1st, we are going to be having a whole new catalog come out. And in that catalog will be incredible amount of new fall and winter transfers. I know, we're just thinking about summer. How could we already thinking about fall and winter, right? But it definitely will be happening, which means that some of these beauties that you see in the catalog today are going to go away. So if you see a design that you like, I would definitely encourage you to go take a peek. In a few days, we will be getting some notification about exactly which transfers are going away from the catalog. Some will carry forward, as we call them, because they, will work through the seasons, but others will retire. So the ones that are retiring, I'll be sure to let you know so that you can grab them before they're gone if you're interested. And all of that can be purchased right on my website. So all the products that we're using today, also you can just go right to my website and order them, and they'll ship right to you. So that's kind of fun. The other thing that we're using in addition to our silkscreen transfer is our 10-inch white chalkboard surface. And this one's kind of fun because it's got this little chain here to hold it. It also is nice gold rimmed. Now, if you don't like the gold, I have seen people who've done a really fabulous job with painting these with chalk paint, kind of styling it up maybe in your style. You could definitely do that. But what's really awesome about this surface, this white surface, it's a chalkboard surface. So instead of it being a black surface, it's white, but it's erasable with our chalk paste that we're going to be using. And that brings me to the next thing we're going to be talking about, is our chalk paste. So these pastes are like gold, I'm telling you. They are awesome. And actually I've got this Couture Coral that we're going to be using today. Haven't even opened it yet. We got a brand new jar, so we'll show you what to do and how to get that open. This is the Peachy Keen, and this is the second color we're going to be using. And so this one has already been opened, and I've used it previously. This is a 3-ounce container. Can really last you quite a while, and we'll talk about how you keep track and care of all of that. And then lastly, the tool we're going to use is our squeegee, and these squeegees come in this small size. It also comes in this little mini size. We've got this great multi-tool that also is a squeegee. It was sitting in my water bath over there, so it's all wet. And we've also got a large handled squeegee, which is really fun to use for bigger projects. And then this multi-edged squeegee as well. So lots of different squeegee options to choose from, but I'll talk through with you which ones really are the best to use where. But basically, if you think you've got a big surface and you've got a lot of screen to use, the bigger the squeegee, the better. The smaller areas, the multi-tool and the minis are really the best. Our small definitely is our all-purpose, I think. The other supply we'll need is a pair of scissors. And then lastly, I have a water bath here on the side, which is going to be used to clean off our transfers. So before we dive into the project, let me talk to you a little bit more about these transfers. So this is what we call our B-size transfer. It retails for $14.99. It is a silkscreen transfer versus a stencil. And when you get a piece that has, or you have a design like this that has multiple pieces, you'll see that there's white lines here. Those are cut lines so that you can cut up your transfer and use the separate pieces. Now, this one has 3 separate pieces. It also has what we call these registration marks, and that's so that you know exactly how to line these up, because we're going to be layering these. And we also are going to be adding in the beak as a different color. So those are those little registration marks, and that's what they're for. The transfers all come on a backer sheet, and the reason for that is that these transfers are adhesive backed. so that when you put them down on your surface, no matter what kind of surface you use, it's going to stick to it and it is going to keep it from moving around. So it's going to make it really easy for you to be able to get a nice clean design on your surface. It's also really great for working on vertical surfaces. So if you want to put these on walls or furniture or glass or even your windows in your house, you can do that. These transfers can go on so many different surfaces. It's hard to remember to tell you all the different ones. And I would say if you're not sure if it can go on that certain surface, just ask, but pretty much almost always the answer is yes. Often there's questions about whether or not you need to treat your surface before you apply the transfer. And generally speaking, if you're using one of our Chalk Couture surfaces, and we have these frames, we also have fabrics, and we also have wood type surfaces, none of those really need any preparation. But if you are using a piece of wood that you found, maybe something that's got some chipping paint on it, you're putting it on glass, a frame maybe you found, in those instances, those surfaces may need a little prepping, or your transfer might need a little prepping in terms of kind of softening up the adhesive on the back by fuzzing it. And we'll talk a little bit about fuzzing in a minute. But if you're using, say, a rough piece of wood, I would recommend a light sanding and maybe even adding a little bit of wax. That way you'll be sure that when you put your transfer down on the surface and it's sticking, it won't pick up any wood fibers or anything like that from an old piece of wood. But two, when you go to put the paste on and then pull the transfer up, you won't stretch your transfer and ruin it. We don't want you to stretch this transfer because we want you to be able to reuse it over and over again. Generally speaking, you can expect to use your transfers about 8 to 10 times. And when you do so, as long as you wash them with water and let them dry and put them back on the backer sheet, they will be all set to reuse again and again. So that means you can make lots of different projects, not only just one for yourself, but maybe another for a friend or someone to sell, or even put it on lots of different kinds of surfaces. So today we're doing it on this gold rim white board, as we talked about, but this would be really cute for like a teacher's gift to put maybe on a dry erase board. It would also be really great to put on maybe a t-shirt for your daughter or granddaughter. It's just a really cute transfer that can be used in lots of different ways. So the colors, as I said, we're going to use are the coral for the body, so the kind of the darker kind of corally pink. For the legs and the beak, we're going to go with this peach. And then the letters, since we've got a white surface, we're going to use our black paste. So before we dive in and start putting all of these pieces down, I'm going to open up our chalk paste containers and get them ready to use. So it doesn't really take too much prep to get them to be used. First thing you want to do when this is a brand new chalk paste container, you just want to make sure that you pull up this little container here, cover here on the container, and try to save as much of that as you can, because chalk paste really can go a long way and no reason to waste it. So I'm going to try to get as much off that cover and back in. Throw that out. We won't need that anymore. And then just take a stirrer, and this is one of our stir sticks, and give it a good stir until it's nice and smooth and about the consistency of yogurt. So you can see as I'm starting to stir this up, it's getting nice and smooth. This is our black velvet chalk paste, and it is paste, not paint. I know lots of times when people are referring to this, they refer to it as paint, but it isn't paint. It's actually chalk, just in a paste form, and it's going to go on to our design wet, and then it's going to dry hard. So hard, as a matter of fact, that you won't be able to wipe it away with just your hands. So it's not like the old-fashioned chalkboards that we had when we were kids, but instead it's a paste that goes on wet and dries hard. So what that means is you won't really have to worry about it mistakenly getting erased, but when you decide that you want to change up your designs, you can just wash it off with water and put on a new design on that surface. So it's really economical and lots of fun. All right, so we've got the black open. I'm going to just open up the coral. Now this is, notice it's a little bit of different container here, cover, and we've recently changed them out to make them easier to pull off. So this one was before then, so I'm just going to grab a pair of scissors here and cut the foil around the rim and pull it back. There we go. I am trying very hard, for those of you who know me, to stop biting my nails. I have started to listen to Mel Robbins' 5-second rule book, or read, I should say, not listen to. I could listen to it, I suppose, if it was audio, but I'm actually reading it. It's part of my morning routine. In the morning, I get up and I do some self-development, personal development, just time for myself in the morning. You know how hard sometimes that is when you just jump right into work when you get up in the morning. So I've kind of made that commitment to start paying a little bit of attention to myself, including getting some exercise in every morning and doing a little prayer and meditation. It's been a very nice start to my morning since I've been back from vacation, enjoying it very much. But part of that is I'm reading Mel's 5-second rule. If you've never heard of that book, I would highly encourage to check it out. It's very uplifting, encouraging, and gives you some really practical advice about how to overcome things like kind of really your fear of doing things, of trying new things, or you know, when your brain starts giving you all these excuses about why you can't do something, the 5-second rule kind of helps to override that initial learned response of I can't do it. So anyway, as part of that, I'm really hoping that I can use that technique to stop biting my nails. So I am hoping at the end of this month, you're going to actually see me with better nails than I have today. So when you check in with me, whether you're watching this live or you're watching my YouTube video, or you are catching this in some other place I've posted it, be sure and ask me how I'm doing with my 5-second rule and my morning routine, and are my nails growing? Because I not only want to grow my business, I also want to grow my nails. So, all right, so we've got all 3 pastes here ready to go, and I'm in the way so you can't see them, but they're all set. I'm going to move those scissors out of the way. I'll move this over here just a tad so we can see everything that's going on in front of me. There we go. That's better, right? Now I can see everything. And I think I am going to start with the bottom first, and then I'm going to put this over the top. And the reason for that is because this just kind of fits here on this board. I want to make sure that I have this just centered perfectly before I go and put this next piece on. So that's my game plan. Hopefully it's a good game plan. I have a fuzzing cloth over here, and as I was mentioning before, one of the things that we want to do when we are using our transfers is to give it a little bit of a fuzz so that that adhesive in the back doesn't stick so hard to the surface that it's hard to pull up. I'm also going to write on the back just so that I know which piece this goes back onto when I'm done. So I'm going to put flamingo, and then I am going to put beak here just so I know that that is his beak. So that's it. Those are the 3 pieces. A little Sharpie will do the trick. The reason why I write on the back is because one side of the backer sheet is kind of a paper side and the other side is a glossy side. So we want to remember to put the transfer back on the glossy side so that it won't stick to the paper. And so we're going to just take off my no nails problem. See where it comes into play here? I'm going to put the backer sheet off to the side, and then I'm just going to fuzz my transfer here a little bit with this fuzzing cloth, just to kind of loosen up the adhesive just a little bit, so that when I do put it on the board and I paste it, add the paste to it, we're going to be able to pull this off a little bit easier. All right, so that's it. I've fuzzed it. Now I just want to place it down on the board where I want it to go. I know lots of people ask me, how do you ensure it's centered on your board? And I usually say I wing it, which I almost always do wing it. You can definitely pull it up and reposition it if it doesn't look like it is where you want it to go. But I am not overly particular. If it's a little sideways, I'm not sure I'm going to lose sleep over that. But if you are, then maybe a piece of placement tape would do the trick for you. So the words we're going to make black, and then the legs here I'm going to do in this coral. So I'm going to need 2 squeegees, just so I don't have to wash it off in between. So I've got my small and I've got my mini. All right, so let's go ahead and start with the black and put on the letters. So all I'm doing, as you're seeing, is spreading, and I'm going to also put the paste on those little registration marks so that when I lift this up and I get ready to put the next layer on, I will know exactly where I need to lay that out. All right, and then I've got my little guy over here, and we're using this peachy color. And you don't need a whole lot of paste. That's one of the cool things about this. So I'm putting it on actually kind of thick at the moment, and that just because I'm using 2 colors, and I want to make sure that I don't let it dry before I am ready. So that's it. That's all I needed for that color. I'm going to go back over here and just make sure I wipe off any extra because we don't need to have more. Got plenty on here. Just wiping all the excess off, and I'm just putting that excess right back in the jar. That's it. Easy peasy, right? And then that's it. We're just going to pull this up and reveal the design and do our first layer. So here we go. We've got our born to stand out. Now these letters, they're kind of funky. They're meant to kind of be a little rustic-y looking. So if they come out rustic, don't fret. That's exactly the way they're supposed to look. So I'm just going ahead and putting this transfer into my water bath here, and just wiping off some of the excess off of the screen. You probably can't see me doing that because I'm off in the other area, but I wanted to get it in the water bath so I didn't have to worry about cleaning up that later. So that's it. So we're just going to give this a minute or 2 to dry. It's not going to take very long. Made a little goop there. So, and you can see we've got the little registration marks here. So that's going to help us to know where to line up the next piece. And we've done those 2 colors, right? Simple, simple so far. Easy peasy. So we're going to use this color again, but we're not going to use the black again. So I'm going to go ahead and just give it one final stir. Add the extra off from my little stirrer tool. Throw my little squeegee in and then cover it back up. So there we go. Tiny little amount we use there, no problem. Oh, see, and every time I play around with it, I get a little piece of chalk. So we're actually pretty well centered, I have to say. Now, we do want to make sure this is dry before we add the next layer. So we're going to just give that a minute to do that. I want to just make sure that these chalk pastes don't dry out of me. Now, if you're in a real hurry, you can use a heat tool or a hair dryer, but this isn't going to take too long to dry. Matter of fact, it's probably just about there. Yep, it's dry. That's it. See, not coming off on my hands. So that means we are ready for the next piece. So, I'm going to get that fuzzing cloth out again. And we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to pull off the transfer off the backer sheet, put the backer sheet aside, and then we're going to fuzz this transfer. And it's these little registration marks that are going to make sure that we end up putting this right where we want so everything lines up perfectly. All right. So if you're watching us on the replay, please be sure to say hi. And as I said, if you want to share this with someone else that you think would enjoy it, I would be much appreciated. Much appreciative. I would be very appreciative, I'm trying to say. I'm just lining up those registration marks, and you'll see I've got my little body here of my flamingo. He's so darn cute. And then we're going to go with this Couture Coral color, dipping in our squeegee, and then just making sure we add the chalk paste over the screened area. The green area is really just the area where the adhesive is. So the only area we need to really worry about is the screened area. And I don't need to do the registration marks again because they are already marked. We'll use it one more time, those registration marks, for the, there we go, excess off for the beak, just to line that up just right. But now that is done, and here we go. We're just going to pull this off gently and reveal the body of this cute little flamingo. Now these two colors, the coral and the peachy keen, are my two favorite color combinations. I use them in so many different ways. So if you're wondering about color choices and what goes well together, I'll tell you, I just love the coral and the peach together. You can really blend it and do a really pretty ombre effect, and they just really complement them very well. Hey Rhea, welcome. Thanks for joining today. So we're just wrapping up almost our Born to Stand Out board. He's so darn cute. Don't you love him? He's so sweet already. And then the last piece we have to add is our beak. And again, we're going to use those registration marks to line things up. Notice that if I do get a little chalk paste somewhere where I don't want it, remember this is a chalkboard surface, it's going to come right off, so don't fret. Oh, I know, Lisa, sometimes those registration marks are a little tricky. I'll tell you what, I really liked using the black to line up the registration marks. I also find I can't do it sitting down, so you probably noticed that I had to get up and line it up. With my glasses and the light colored registration marks, sometimes it's tricky, so standing up helps, so try that next time. And we're going to give this another minute to dry, and just going to bring this fuzzing cloth over one more time so that we can fuzz this last piece of the beak, and hopefully when we're done with all that, his body will be ready. Lisa, how is the weather where you are today? I hope that you're experiencing a little bit of spring. It was a little cool here today in Connecticut, but that was all right. It was actually nice and sunny. Got up for a nice walk this morning with the dog and the hubby. Very blessed. Both my husband and I do have the opportunity during the day to work from home. So we try to get out early in the morning for a walk. And the dog now always has to go for a walk with us. If you could just see her now, I should move my camera just so you could see her because she's totally passed out next to me here. All right, now I want to make sure this is dry before I add the beak, and I'm thinking it's maybe not quite yet. See, the difference between the wait time really of these words and the leg is really the thickness of the chalk paste that is here. And there's a thicker amount of chalk paste because the screen's just larger. So, hey Cindy, welcome. Yeah, I haven't created this one yet. It took me a little while. I don't know why. I think I forgot I had it. But it's so super cute. You know, I picked up when I was at the Cape a piece of driftwood, and I thought, oh, wouldn't this be perfect to fit on here? But it's too big. I don't think he'll fit. He'll come off the sides. So I'll have to find another use for this little piece of driftwood. But yes, you could absolutely chalk on that if you wanted to. Oh, good, Lisa. Oh, I'm so glad. I know, it was kind of crazy weather. We got really hot and then it went right back down and got cool again. Big storms too. So, you know, it's this weather. It's just keeping us all on our toes so far. The beginning of spring, isn't it? All right, so we are ready for putting on his beak. And so I got to stand up again here, so excuse my... Okay, so there's that registration mark there, and there it is. There, maybe, there. Yeah, and you can see he's lining up. All we're doing is lining up so that he is touching the kind of the head of his, you know, his head, where his beak is. Sorry, I'm having one of those brain farts. And then we're just using our Peachy Keen again, and it's just this little area that we're chalking. That's it. Don't need a lot. It's one of the things I just love. Super economical, really easy to use, and those chalk paste containers last forever. So look at that, isn't that cute? I just love him. So as you know, I've got this water bath over here. I'm just putting all the different transfers in here. I also have a board eraser in here, and the board eraser is great, not only for cleaning our boards, and that's what we're going to use to kind of clean off these registration marks so they go away. Bye-bye. We don't need them anymore. And they're also really great for cleaning up our transfers. So if you've watched me before, you know how I do that, but let me show you again a little quick trick while we let that dry, and we'll just show you how fast it is to kind of finish up this project, wash everything up and put it away, and go enjoy the rest of your night. How's that? So there we go. We've got our 3 chalk paste colors, the black, the Couture Coral, my favorite color of all time, and then of course the Peachy Keen. So we're going to put this off to the side here just so I don't get it all wet when I show you how we're going to clean up our transfers here. Now you can see my water is black, and that's because we use the black paste. Not surprising, no biggies. And I am going to also just have my fuzzing cloth open. Now I'm going to use the microfiber side to just put these transfers back on there to dry. So when I put them in the water bath, you want to put them sticky side down. That way the water will act as a, well, a deterrent really. I'll give it a little bit of an area so that the adhesive doesn't stick to itself. So that's a good thing. I'm going to just wash all these little pieces here. This is only water in here, and the board eraser is my go-to for cleaning everything that's got the chalk paste or ink on it. And just letting them sit on this board here, on the fuzzing cloth here, to dry until I can get to them. So that's it. Really easy peasy, right? Quick, 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 quick. So I just have a little Pyrex dish here full of water. You can use anything you want. You can bring it right to your sink. But when I'm doing them here up in my office, I just find it's a little easier to have a little pan of water nearby. And that way it'll make it easy for me to clean up. All right. I used so many squeegees tonight in this little project. Oh, see, look at that. Okay, so transfers. We're just going to wipe off the chalk paste on the front part. I got a lot of black here that's getting in the way. Ugh. I need a clean water bath already. My goodness. So just wipe that away. And then let it dry, sticky side up. If you got a little bit of paste there, you can go ahead and clean that way. I know, Cheryl, wouldn't he be great as a kit? And you know what? I can definitely put together a little bundle for you. What we don't have in the little singles, though, we have the coral, but we don't have the peach. But the other, I think, color that we could put in there is the guava. The guava would work really well. So if you'd like me to put together a little bundle for you, just put bundle down in the comments and I will pull that together for you. All right. Bundles are kind of fun. Did you like the gold rim surface? I really, when I first saw it, I wasn't sure I was totally in love with it. But the more I use it and the more I try it with different transfers, the more I like it. So you just never know, right? Sometimes you just got to try it out before you decide that you don't like something. All right, so water, bath, gone. We're done with that. And just in terms of cleaning these up, now if I was, patient, which I'm not, I could just let these sit and they'll air dry and they'll be fine. But if you want to reuse them again, you can actually just take a piece of paper towel and quickly wipe the surface of the transfer with your paper towel. So it's sticky side up, and all I'm doing is quickly washing away that water, wiping it up. That's all I'm doing. I'm not playing with it too much. Just quickly wiping that water residue off. And then we're taking our backer sheet and laying it right on top of that transfer so it can stick back. That's it. So it is ready to reuse again. Nice, nice, right? Let's see, we'll take the second one here. And again, just give it a little wipe. So this is a great way, and if you want to reuse this again right away and you don't want to wait for it to dry, is just go ahead and use that little piece of paper towel, dry paper towel, and then stick your transfer back on your transfer sheet. Remember, glossy side up. If you forgot to write on the back, then just make sure that you use the glossy side when you put that back. And then the last piece, and then guess what, folks? We're done. It's all that took, right, to put this cute little guy together. Now, I do want to tell you about something special and new that I am offering before we leave. If you are interested in having the opportunity to earn some free and discounted Couture products, like who doesn't love free and discounted products, right? I am starting to offer Facebook parties, online Facebook parties. And what's awesome about them is that they can be set up really quickly. We can do it within 5 days. All you need to do as a hostess is come into the event that I create and invite your friends who you think might be interested in seeing what Couture is all about. And I will do everything else. You come in and occasionally comment, maybe post a project or two that you've done using Couture or things that you like. And that will kind of get the party rolling. And when the party happens, it's just a 30-minute kind of quick overview of Couture and what it's all about. I'll do a few quick little demos, and then people will have time to shop. So if you're interested in trying out or becoming one of my very first hostesses for a Facebook event, it's going to be really great for those of you that we've been interacting, but we haven't been face-to-face because we're too far away. So if that sounds like something you might be interested in to earn some free products and to share a little bit of Couture with people who you think might enjoy it, then let me know. Just put hostess down in the comments and I'll connect with you to get a date on the calendar. So really all it is all over Facebook. So, you just send some invites out from that Facebook event and, kind of share some ideas with your friends about your experiences with Couture, and we'll get to teach them some fun new projects. So if that sounds of interest, like I said, just type in hostess in the comment section, and I'll be happy to reach out to you and see if we can find a good date. Cheryl, great. I saw that. I will definitely put together a bundle option for you and send that out. If anybody else is interested in this as a bundle, let me know, and I can actually post something into my Style Innovators group. So we talked a little bit about that Style Innovators group a little while ago, and you can get to my Style Innovators group if you are not yet a member by just going to facebook.com/groups/Style Innovators. And that's where I'm able to put in some of my special offers and bundles. So if you're not a member there, feel free to go ahead and check it out, and we'll make sure that you get added. All right, guys. Well, I hope you found that this was fun. Cheryl, I'd love to do a Facebook party with you if you're interested. I think it would be lots of fun and a great way to get some products and get us a chance to connect with each other long distance. So if that's something of interest, let me know. And in the meantime, you all have a wonderful night. I will post our finished guy here up in the page in a little bit. And remember, of course, if you are wanting to purchase any of these items, you can do so directly from my website, or if you want me to put a bundle together for you, just write in bundle and I'll make sure I take care of that for you. All right, everybody, you have a wonderful day. Enjoy your evening and talk to you later. Bye.